By letting go of those limited beliefs and that emotional heaviness that you've been carrying around with you, you will experience a great sense of release, a moment of, And it's so important that you do that because as humans, we are conditioned, we are programmed to suppress our feelings and emotions. We don't make the time or have the time to stop and reflect, yet alone talk to other people, because life isn't all about working 9 to 5, rushing around, juggling things, managing things, because when you get so wrapped up in your day-to-day lives that you don't even have the time for yourself to check in with yourself, you become unaware of the emotional baggage that you're carrying around with you. And one of the easiest ways for you to release that emotional heaviness, those limited beliefs that you've been carrying around with you, is by 1, opening up your heart center, and 2, by learning to accept yourself fully, by giving yourself the permission to do that, even the downside, even your lowest emotions. And that's what it means to accept yourself fully. It's not easy, I know. And I, for one, used to live in a way of having my guard up, protecting myself, protecting my heart, and living in that survival mode. And for you, it might be the same as well. And this is the emotional heaviness that we carry around with us, perhaps from childhood trauma, from broken or painful relationships. And that then forms part of our limited beliefs. But it's important to learn to accept yourself fully, because we can all find ourselves having and experiencing low emotions. And sometimes we experience fear, which is natural. And it could be because you're afraid of what people may think about you, what they might say about you, whether they're judging you because of X, Y, and Z. And this can then lead you to feeling sad, feeling anxious, feeling anger. And it's easy to repeat these cycles and live at the same old patterns. But what you truly need to do is to listen. And I mean truly listen to what that fear is telling you, what that sadness is telling you, what your anger is telling you, what your frustration is telling you, because this will lead you to what you are truly suppressing. Because we're so used to, conditioned, and living in a programmed way of suppressing our deep emotions and feelings. And this then forms part of our belief system, or what we believe and what we think about ourselves and how we behave and what we act. But it's time for you to let go and shift your old identity into a new one. Now, on the one hand, you might say, I don't want to talk about my emotions. I don't want to acknowledge my feelings, either because you don't know how to, or because you think it's not deemed as normal. Because these things, we are so programmed and conditioned by our parents, our environment, our culture. And that's a big thing, especially in the Asian community. I mean, I come from an Asian community, so I can relate to that. And that sort of thing is normally brushed under the rug. And you shouldn't speak about it because, what are people going to think and say about you? Again, it goes back to that fears that we have and the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, about those judgmental beliefs and so on. That's where the problem comes from. And if you have experienced anything like that, then let me know in the comments below, as it can help other viewers as well. Now, that said, these emotions exist as a way to protect you. It's you living in your survival mode. But you don't need to live like that. You can release and let go of those emotional traumas, those emotional baggage that you've been carrying around with you, and create this new identity of yourself. And it's important to acknowledge that these emotions are part of you. And by acknowledging and giving yourself permission to let go and release, you are allowing yourself to transform into a new identity, into a new reality. These emotions are an important part of your transformation. And once you acknowledge them, you then need to decide where to go from here. Because let me just say that it's not an easy journey, but it would definitely be rewarding, because once you do that, this will give you a great release, that burst of new energy, that positivity and joy. And it will allow you to raise your vibration and reconnect you with your higher self. And you're here and watching this video, so this message is definitely for you. Now let's go back to fear, in that it's one of the strongest emotions that it can take over our intelligence. But it's also an emotion that helps keep us safe, as it mobilizes us to cope with potential danger. And when you don't acknowledge those feelings and those emotions and go through that emotional cleansing, you're not letting love into your life. You're not allowing joy into your life, because your guard's always up. And to be honest, I live most of my life like that. But really, all you're doing in that situation is protecting yourself from good experiences, that magnetic energy, your authentic self, connecting with your true higher self and allowing in that positivity, allowing in that joy, that abundance energy, so that you can desire and manifest what you want in your life and truly embody who you are meant to be. And then once you become aware, you step outside of those limited beliefs, you step outside of those suppressed emotions. And you can say to yourself, okay, I will pause. I will observe myself. I will feel just being present in the here and now. And fully give yourself permission to tune into yourself. Truly allow your soul to step outside of the matrix of society, the limitations, the culture, the needs and wants of your parents, the stories that you've held on to that have formed part of your limited beliefs, your environment. And then observe yourself as a human. You can close your eyes and visualize yourself stepping outside of a box or the current place that you're in, or merely just opening up a door and just stepping out into the openness. Stepping outside your body and seeing where you are and just seeing whatever comes up. And these are the things that you should pay attention to listen to, and to ask yourself if they make sense. This is you getting to the root cause of the emotional heaviness that you've been carrying around with you and trying to acknowledge if they are even real, and if they are, where have they come from? And when you stop rushing around and worrying about your 9-to-5 job and juggling and managing everything else, just take some time out for yourself. And this little routine, this little procedure, you can do as many times as you want, because at first certain emotions may come up or they may not show up. And that's okay. Don't think, oh, I've tried it once and I'm done with it. But keep going until something comes up. You can even keep a notepad with you where you can write down emotions and feelings, that emotional heaviness that comes up for you. And that's you letting it out and writing it down on a piece of paper. And that can be quite a cathartic feeling. And that's you journaling your emotions and letting and releasing it. And then in a way, putting it away or archiving it, because you know that you've acknowledged it, you've dealt with it, you know where it's come from and what it actually means for you. And this not only allows you to release those limited beliefs and emotions, but it allows you to fully embody who you are as a soul, as a human. And it allows you to raise your vibration and allowing that new energy, whether that's via dreams, synchronicities, signs, inspiration, or creativity. Because I want you to remember that we're all an extension of the source, and we've just forgotten who we are along the journey of the conditioning and the matrix of society. And by going through this emotional cleansing, you're able to truly free yourself and embody who you are meant to be. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe so that it can reach other like-minded viewers. Have a great day. Namaste.